Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. This is going to be another episode of SNTR Gaming News about the Halo Infinite modes update, as well as things they are doing to the challenges. If you like these kind of talk show streams, make sure and hit subscribe and the bell button. I will give you right here on the very beginning a quick summary of the issue. So if you're just looking for a short video, I put this right on the front of the video to help you out. I will also be bringing people over and redirecting from the past stream. This is an SNTR update. Halo Infinite is already seeing an update with respect to the game modes, as well as some more tuning promised to the challenges themselves. If you like these SNTR updates, hit subscribe and the bell button, or check out where I live stream this over on SNTR Gaming. So there has been a lot of criticism with respect to Halo Infinite and the game mode offerings. One of the most heated things brought up was the lack of the Slayer mode being in its own playlist, as well as SWAT. This week, on December the 14th, Halo Infinite will see Slayer, SWAT, FFA, and Fiesta mode returning to their offering to the Halo Infinite multiplayer gameplay experience. This is a good win for the community. I want to talk about at the end of the video why this is still a little concerning, but this is a pretty fast act from 343 as they continue to try to meet the community on the ground and in their expectations. Now, they also had things to say about challenges, and this was pulled from a Windows Central article. Also, challenges are getting tuned, and Gerard also confirmed that some adjustments to Halo Infinite's controversial challenge-based progression system are coming with the update, including a new category of challenges that are intended to reward strong in-game performance. Here's the quote. Next week's update will also include adjustments to challenges, including removing some particularly frustrating mode-specific ones, reducing some requirements for others, making the weekly Ultimate Challenge less intensive, and adding brand new challenges specific to the player playlists. He also said, "Personally, I'm eager to check out a new challenge category that's based on accumulating player score." So this, again, is good to see. It's good to see them acting fast. This is one of the other direct complaints from the community about the game. The absence of Slayer is obviously a concern. The absence of SWAT. All of these things are a concern that people want to see changed and updated. But just the daily sense of progression on the Battle Pass has been a major point of criticism from the community. The Halo Battle Pass was praised significantly well in the Master Chief Collection, and then for it to land in the way that it has in Halo Infinite seems very strange with respect to consumer expectations, and I think that's fair when they set such a good standard with the predecessor. I know there's such a thing as parallel development, but it is fair to say, how'd you get it so right and now you're getting it so wrong? This continues, I think, to sort of baffle and concern those who want to see Halo Infinite's multiplayer go the distance. How can you be so off the mark with some of the most basic things like playlists and game modes that are available? There's even things in the game that just don't work quite right. We discovered on a Friday night Halo Infinite custom games gameplay session that we did, we discovered that it's a 24-player limit for Big Team Battle, but that cannot include spectators. So the server will crash and won't load if you have 25 people. So if you have 24 people trying to play Big Team Battle and one person spectating, it will not work. This poses obviously a problem for anybody trying to do a tournament or an esports scene or anything in that realm. Having that player limit crash the server is something that shouldn't be overlooked. That seems, again, pretty basic, that 12v12 and then one or two spectators doesn't seem out of turn and doesn't seem like something the servers couldn't handle, but it's been looked over. The last thing I want to say is at least they're headed in the right direction. They could be digging their heels in and saying, this is the Halo Infinite we wanted to build, this is the game that we think is where we want to take things, but they're not doing that. They're listening to the community and they're tweaking things where they can, and while that is a little worrying and concerning, at least two things are happening. Number one, it's happening on target with respect to what the community's saying, and it's been pretty quick. They deserve credit for that. We'll keep monitoring the game as it tries to refine itself. As always, if you like these SNTR updates, hit subscribe and the bell button, and I'll see you in the next one. And I'll see the rest of you jabronis right now. Hopefully you guys are doing good. We obviously had a pretty spicy morning. We're trying to steer the ship away from that. Thank you to everybody who hung out this morning. kept it civil, kept it awesome. We greatly appreciated that, and we hope that this can be another good time for you. We hope this can be another good conversation for you and a good discussion about Halo Infinite. We had a really, really great time. So if you're watching this as a VOD or you're watching this right now, you missed out on Friday night. The Friday night custom games that we did was an absolute blast. Me and Hilly shoutcasting, you guys doing big team battle with crazy weapons. We need good ideas about like what modes and what weapons we should use. You know, how we should set some of these game modes up, because man, that was super, super fun. If you're a paying member on this channel or any of my other channels, get in our Discord. You can use the Discord command, or you can go to discord.gg/SNTR network. There should be a Discord in the description below as well. You can use that to basically get in our Discord as a paying member and get access to more rooms so we can funnel you into playing. Now, if you don't want to use Discord, you don't need to. If you're a paying member, I can see you being a paying member in chat. I can see your joystick, okay? And if I can see that, then I know, hey, you're a member. Let me get you added to my friends list. Let's get you into this game. We had an absolute blast, so I hope to see more people. We'll do it again this week and see how it goes, because it was just gut-bustingly funny. Random Zero saying Friday night was really fun. I laughed so much. That's good to see and good to hear. Really, really good to hear. -30 to speed, 10 gravity hammers only. Yeah. We really, really did enjoy ourselves, and so we really, really hope that you guys, you know, we want to grow the membership base, right? We want to grow the membership base. So if you're not currently a member, there should be a join button. You can click it. $5 a month is all it is. It gets you a badge. It gets you emotes, increased access in the Discord. And you can join in on the Friday night festivities. If you're a member on my other channels, that counts too. No worries. Just get in the Discord so we can confirm that for Friday night. We would love Friday nights to continue to turn into something fun like that. Just really, really fun community nights. We've done really, really fun community nights before with different games, with things like Jackbox. We've done Jackbox. In the past, we did things with like Call of Duty Warzone. That didn't work out quite as well. But this seems to have potential, because we can set up our own games and our own rules, and that wasn't really a possibility with Call of Duty. Now, with Halo Infinite modes update, I'm curious which mode is the most important to you. So let's put a poll at the top of the chat. Halo Infinite, oh my gosh, I can't type. Oh my word, Halo Infinite modes update. Which is the most important mode in your mind? All right, we got Slayer, we got SWAT, we got Fiesta, and we got FFA. There we go. I want to know which of the modes that they're adding tomorrow as their own playlist hopper, which one's the most important to you? I have a feeling I know what's going to win, but I'm not going to steer the vote and say anything. The best part was you having to play with the crap rules you tried to impose on others. I'll admit that Hilly and I had to eat some humble pie, because like Halo Infinite gameplay, multiplayer gameplay especially, when we had to use that like fully automatic rifle, and it was like so hard to use. Yes, that free-for-all is FFA. It was very funny. We had to eat a little dose of humble pie. It was like, man, the commando game was rough. It's like we're putting these guys through the ringer. I felt a little bit bad. I liked when Zubair was like, you know what, guys, it might be too early to say this, but I really miss when we had a rockets-only fight in a closet. That map was so small. It was so small. Oh, man. It was great. It was great. That night was everything that I've ever wanted from a community game night. It was like everything converging together, just being able to shoutcast with Hilly and being able to give you guys insane settings. It was a match made in heaven. I was so thrilled. I was so thrilled. So make sure and set aside Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. We will 100% be doing that again this week, and we hope to see you there. If you're new and you've never been here before, we do talk shows Monday through Friday like this, where we break down gaming news. This morning we talked about Bungie and their toxic culture, how they kind of got exposed by an IGN article. I very much changed my tune over the weekend. I feel like they're very much spinning everything. And right now, we're talking about how Halo Infinite announces this good news, right? Halo Infinite modes update. They're going to be adding these modes. Everybody's been asking for them. They're also going to be tweaking the challenges. The Halo Infinite Battle Pass challenges are horrible, and they're going to be tweaking them. And I basically said, this is great. It's good to see they're doing two things. They're reacting and giving the community what they're asking for, and they're doing it fast. But that doesn't mean it's not concerning. It doesn't mean it's not concerning. It is a little strange that they were so off the mark on so many foundational things with respect to the game. So it is a little odd in my mind. Sorry for the first map. I thought it would be funny. I was laughing the whole time. There's no reason to apologize. Jackbox and more bad drawings. Right. How much longer till the update? It's hitting tomorrow. So we wanted to jump on this today. We could potentially do some gameplay tomorrow afternoon to test it, and then that might bring in some more players and some more members of the Halo community to maybe add to the funnel of Friday nights, right? Like we want to dip our toes and make sure we're giving Halo its just due. I don't think we're going to be able to go back and finish the campaign. I don't think anybody cares about that. But I think covering the multiplayer and the multiplayer updates, I do think people care about that. I think that is something that is it's something that people desire. They're like, yes, fix this, and also I think people like the idea of having a community to play with. Only got to play the first game Rockets only because of work the next morning, but it was fun. I'm glad that you guys had a good time. I'm really, really glad. Yeah, I think Paul played for some of the time on Friday Night Barrier. I think he did. Yeah. Isn't the guy running Halo PvP the same dude that thought dual primaries was the way to go in D2? No. Oh my gosh, no. Double primaries? Joseph Staten was not at Destiny at that time. Joseph Staten left Bungie before Destiny 1 even finished its life cycle. No, you can't hang that on Joseph Staten's head. And Joseph Staten was the narrative lead. He handled the story and he handled the campaign elements that not even remotely related. Yeah, double primaries was a that's a Mark Noseworthy thing. Crazy Cliff says it depends on how they're implemented. It doesn't seem like we can choose them. But Slayer's in the game right now, Cliff. Why would they say that Slayer's coming to the game? Slayer's in the game right now. Is it not? But you just can't pick it. So why would they say that Halo Infinite Slayer mode is coming? Like, I don't know. Hamrick and Wisniewski aren't 343 and they were the double primary dudes? I think they were the double primary dudes along with Noseworthy. You think it was Hamrick, Eugene? I also think Noseworthy was big on double primaries and no random rolls. I might be misremembering. It's Noseworthy might be the no random rolls guy because he was all about casualifying the game, and no random rolls, very much does that. So we'll see. I mean, we'll probably never see. We'll probably never find out who truly was to blame in all of this. But fact of the matter is, fact of the matter is, Joseph Staten has nothing to do with it. Regardless, we actually know that Staten has nothing to do with it. The impression I have of Halo Infinite is 10 people doing the work of 30, and 5 of those people just got hired last week. A lot of, do your best, I can't help right now, I'm swamped. What are the Slayer, SWAT, and Fiesta mode rules? So Slayer is literally just team deathmatch. SWAT is team deathmatch with without radar, headshots a kill. It's very tactical, very slowed down. I don't know if it's round based. People in chat might have to help me on SWAT. And then Fiesta is isn't Fiesta random? It's just a bunch of fun stuff. I don't know enough about Fiesta. But yeah, Slayer is there. Me on 140 millisecond ping. Wasn't on comms. I don't think he got on comms, no. I'd rather pay for Halo so that they have more workers. You'd rather buy the game? Right. SWAT's not slowed down. SWAT is sped up because it's so easy to kill. Sorry, that's not what I meant. Right. When I said slow down, it's more tactical in that there's no radar and that you a headshot's a kill. But yeah, they speed up movement, don't they? SWAT is no shields, no radar Slayer. Fiesta is random weapon spawns, including power weapons. Isn't SWAT 2v2 or 3v3? SWAT's first to 50. They strip it down. I didn't mean to say, like, yeah, they slow, like, you're slow. Like, the game is supposed to feel like it's a little bit slowed down in that, like, Halo Infinite gameplay is very much similar to the classic Halo games, but if you're going to play SWAT, it's going to be slowed down a bit. It's not going to be there. And I don't mean speed. I just mean, like, it's not going to feel like the grenade spam, fast shooting, like, I don't know. It'll feel faster, but in different ways. It's more tactical. I guess that's a better way of saying it. It's just more tactical. It's Slayer with no shields and ground loot. BRs only, right. It's more tactical. So there's elements of it that will feel faster and go faster, but not to the degree that, like, you're running around just spraying like a madman, right? Slayer is standard, SWAT's hardcore, Fiesta is party, and free-for-all is solo. That's a good breakdown that Brutal Gear just did. So if you're interested in the Halo Infinite modes update, Slayer, SWAT, Fiesta, and FFA, or free-for-all, are being added tomorrow. Now, we don't know exactly in what capacity, but that's a good breakdown. That, like, Slayer is like standard team deathmatch, SWAT's like hardcore team deathmatch, Fiesta is a party mode, essentially, and FFA is basically like a solo playlist. Like, you go in, it's free-for-all. I mean, that's a pretty good breakdown. You don't think we get a grenade in SWAT? Yeah, I think they even don't they. Yeah, it's because there's no grenade spam in SWAT because everybody's so weak. It would be awful. Like, you wouldn't be able to do anything. You would spawn and, like, somebody would, like, chuck a grenade and, like, it'd, like, wing you and you'd be dead. So, if you are new and you're looking for the Halo Infinite modes update, or you have questions, be sure to take the poll at the top of the chat. We want to hear what you think about which mode do you think is the most important that's getting added. Slayer currently has the 54%, SWAT has 33%, and then Fiesta and Free-for-All are both 6 and 7%. So it's clearly a race between SWAT and Halo Infinite Slayer mode. That's pretty much where we are. SWAT concerns me due to aimbot cheating. SWAT is what got to be good at headshots, and Free-for-all helped me be better backpack to carry my team. Right. Are the progression updates mentioned by Sketch at the end of his post also coming tomorrow? They are. I can read that to you again, what he said. So basically what he says is that they are also, let's see. Next week's update will also include adjustments to challenges, including removing some particularly frustrating mode-specific ones, reducing some requirements for others, making the weekly Ultimate Challenge less intensive, and adding brand new challenges specific to the new playlists. Personally, I'm eager to check out a new challenge category that's based on accumulating player score. So it sounds like they're addressing the ones that are kind of frustrating, they're addressing the ones that are kind of painful, but they're also adding one that has to do with your score. Unless they've changed things for Infinite, SWAT doesn't make players weaker, it's just that the body shots are decreased and headshot damage is increased. SWAT's not in the game right now, though. Some other mode is, and it's not SWAT. Correct me if I'm wrong, I could be ignorant here, but SWAT, being called SWAT, is not in the game right now. Halo Infinite SWAT does not exist. It's some other mode that people have said, oh, this is supposed to be like, basically like this is the spiritual successor of SWAT. But it's not even called that. It's called something else. Are they fixing the level progression? Andrew, I do not think the Halo Battle Pass is having its level progression changed. I think they're changing the challenges to equip you to have a better time. It's called tactical. Yeah. What they have now, I don't think that's what they have in mind. Which is essentially SWAT. If they're adding SWAT, I'm assuming it's going to be the traditional rules of like Halo SWAT. This person is the reason we can no longer say the great this without getting banned by 343. Master Chief is told by Cortana that he has potential, and she dumbs him and goes this at the end. Chief then grows a beard and wears glasses and has nightmares about her until he dies. What the frick are you talking about? I haven't played anything like SWAT, says Zubair. Is that a custom game thing? I think it's just in the one playlist. You can just end up in a game called Halo Infinite Tactical, and it's not SWAT. It's supposed to be... I'm telling you, it's just another mode that periodically shows up. I don't think it's a mode that I don't think it's a mode that is like, you can go pick it. Couldn't even say this. I don't know. People like you make me uneasy. I feel like you're here just to stir up trouble and to be controversial. So you need to find somewhere else to hang out with. I don't know. I'm gonna be a little bit more picky about who gets to hang out here, and you've lost that privilege. I don't know. Is it ranked? I haven't checked. Oh, it might be in ranked, Zubair. They're going to call the SWAT playlist Tactical Slayer. Have they officially announced that, Skok to Rock? Have they said that? Because if they said that, then I didn't see that. It was in the old school Halo games. I played last night and can confirm there is no name deemed SWAT. They said it in a Reddit post. Wait, so all of the headlines and even my description is saying that SWAT is coming. Can I hang? What's good? What's good, Mo? But it's not. They're bringing it back and calling it something else? If it's already in the game, what purpose does that serve? To tell people you're bringing back SWAT if it's going to be Tactical Slayer. I don't play much Halo, but I enjoyed SWAT and Splitgate. Unfortunately, I was terrible at it. It will not be called SWAT. It will be called Tactical. Why is everybody saying that SWAT's returning then, or SWAT's coming or whatever? Akuda Papa says, SWAT is not in Infinite right now. If it was, I'd be playing that literally exclusively as my jam. So, this is the quote. 4 new playlists, Slayer, Fiesta, FFA, and Tactical Slayer, parentheses, SWAT, will be added via a services update on December the 14th. Oh, for frick's sake. We're going to have to test it out then tomorrow to be like, is it actually... They're calling it Tactical Slayer, but then they're putting SWAT in parentheses. So is it actually SWAT? Or is it this new thing that, like, isn't exactly SWAT? What's up, Lono? Been a while, but as far as I remember, SWAT has been a staple Magnus and primarily headshots. No, sure, it has. Oh, a staple mode, game mode, I think is what you meant to write, not staple Magnums. The actual post says Tactical Slayer, and then it puts SWAT in. Okay, so every article I read omitted that and just called it SWAT in the headline. SWAT's just a known game type. Sure. Why wouldn't you just call it that then? Like, what the frick are they doing? Paul says it's SWAT. Paul, people in chat told me that it's not SWAT. It doesn't abide by the same rules. It's not the same. It doesn't abide by the same, like, no shields, headshot kill thing. Isn't the T for tactical? Well, sure, but why wouldn't you just call it SWAT? Is it because that word has like a connotation now? In content creation or something? Yeah, people are saying it's not the same rules. Like can't you play it right now in the game if you go into ranked or something? SWAT is tactical. Nobody's disputing that, Mo. What we're asking is, isn't it in the game right now? People said that Tactical's in the game right now, and it doesn't abide by the traditional rules of SWAT. That's weird if it's not just SWAT, right? This is confusing. Something that's going to be super low TTK. Like fast time to kill. That's what I'm thinking, Bleep. They don't want that in their game because of the way that word is used in content creation. Like, goodness gracious, like XQC can't even be in his own home. He can't sell his home. TAC is not in the game. At least I've never seen it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Someone I haven't played Rank. Doesn't Rank have a separate set of rules with its own unique mode? Is that the tactical mode in the game currently? It's possible that there's a mode in the game called Tactical, and what they're adding is Tactical Slayer. Hey, somebody ordered some coffee like 6 minutes ago. 2 bags of light, 1 bag of Frickmas to Smokey. Thank you so much. If you guys haven't ordered any coffee today, consider making it your first time purchase. Get some for the holidays, maybe some stocking stuffers. My shirt's from 80s Tees. My disc plates back there are people that we're partnered with. There's no tactical playlist right now. Then why would... But people have been telling me that. They're like, oh, no, SWAT's in the game. It's just called Tactical. Why were people saying that like a week ago? Maybe people are thinking of Breakout, which is a tactical version of Slayer from Halo 5. If you're just tuning in, we'd love you free to take the poll at the top of the chat. Halo Infinite modes updates coming tomorrow. Slayer, SWAT, Fiesta, and FFA are being added. Which one, if you take the poll at the top of the chat, which one's the most important to you? I've not seen that game type in ranked, says Slow Mobius. Nothing about tactical. The only difference between quick play and ranked is the ranking system. Assassin's Creed Dawn of Ragnarok looks dope. It's getting a lot of press and a lot of praise. Are people going to blame 343 for caving to the woke cancel mob for changing swastika? Tactical Slayer has always been SWAT. Where did Tactical Slayer first show up then? Maybe people are getting confused with the modes you can play if you're offline. Yeah, Tactical Slayer is listed in the published modes for offline play. Oh, did somebody make that mode though, Barrier? I can go in and set predetermined modes that are made by the community. So maybe people are seeing that. I don't know. That's modes, and that's my published files. Is that 343 modes, or is that published files? Someone created it. Okay, SWAT's actual game mode is called Tactical. So it looks like the reason that people have thought that like Tactical Slayer was in the game before now is because if you go to custom matches, it's there. If you go to Halo Infinite custom modes, it's there. Like it's one of the somebody's created it. I can see how Slayer is beating SWAT. I'm surprised the game didn't launch with Slayer. Well, it launched with Slayer, but you can't select it. If you go to the Halo Infinite multiplayer modes, it's not there. You can just end up in it. You just randomly get to play it for like a game or however long. If you launch Halo Infinite online, offline, somebody says, fun fact, if you launch Halo Infinite offline, you can access the modes currently unavailable. If you go online after, you can save them for yourself. Attrition, Tactical, and Fiesta's other modes. So someone on Reddit discovered that if you go offline, you can actually see the other modes. I mean, I don't even know if you have to be offline. I feel like I've seen those modes in there whenever I went in. I saw that. I saw those modes where I went to set the custom games on Friday night. My buddy got me into SWAT back in the day, and we were bummed on its exclusion at launch, but he called me all hyped on its return. Slayer has to be the most popular mode in all of Halo. The fact that it didn't have its own playlist hoppers from the get is weird. Did you see Ludwig's Chrome add-on? It carries over a lot of the features of Purple. No, but here's what they need to do, okay? Work with him and work with whoever made it and just incorporate those into the default YouTube UI on both the YouTube app and the YouTube website. Like, don't do this Better Twitch TV crap. Like, incorporate it. I've heard good rumors that there's an entire suite of features that you can get right now on YouTube through some other, like, software or some other thing. I've heard rumors that they've basically now worked with that company and they're going to bake all that stuff into YouTube, and I love hearing that. I love hearing that they reached out to, like, the community basically that was sourcing good things for the UI and this, and instead of just like copying it, like working with them to be like, hey, help us out here. Our UI is bad. Will Eugene get his gold badge? Probably not. No, probably not. Probably not. But it's good things for people that like to watch live streams on YouTube, which if you've never been here before, I am a Safe for Work broadcaster. We cover a host of games from New World to Halo. We did cover the Bungie thing this morning. Hit subscribe and the bell button if you haven't done so yet. Every Friday night, we do like a fun night with my buddy Hilly. We have some drinks and laughs. And just this last week, we did Halo Infinite custom games. We're going to do it again this Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you want to play, you do need to be a paying member either here or on any of my channels. $5 a month. You get increased access in the Discord. Supports me directly. The real thing that helps me is just hit subscribe. Just be here and hang out for the radio show. I'm kind of like video game radio. Monday through Friday, I'll hit your sub feed about different topics in the gaming world, and we just kind of sit and chat like this. So make sure and smash like, take our poll at the top of the chat. We want to hear from you. We really want to hear from you on which Halo Infinite modes update. Which mode do you want to see added? Or they're all being added, but which one's most important to you? Gold's overrated. I've been thinking of changing it. I want my red badge back. Yeah, sorry about that. Player's not popular. JK. There's definitely an add-on for better purple add-ons for YouTube, including for emotes and other things. Hope you utilize it when it comes to YouTube intrinsically. Will definitely up the production value. The reason I don't like doing that, though, is then people on mobile don't see what you're doing. I never did better Twitch TV on the other platform, and I don't want to do it over here because what ends up happening is then the people that are on mobile, they can't see what in the world you're doing. Like, I don't like that. Just random weird emote text in chat. The kids even listen to the radio anymore, like FM stations? I don't know. I honestly don't. Our crowd is definitely not the younger crowd, though. Can't do objective or don't want to do objectives. With respect to what? Purple snakes need to go bankrupt now. I find it funny assuming people don't know how to play objectives when they've been forced into it. That's true, and I'm a mobile main. Yeah, we never did the better thing over on the other platform because I didn't want all that gibberish in chat. Because if you don't have the extension installed or you're on mobile, you're like, why is everybody typing that? Braxton says, HCS Sentinel player was suspended from the series for cheating actions. Geo-filtering still blows my mind. Geo-filtering. Huh? Just call me old? No, I didn't call you old. I said our audience isn't very young. It's very different. If you want to make it about you, go ahead. So you can't see? What do you mean I can't see? I'm in college, and most of the people I've spoke to around my age don't really listen to the radio, even when driving. Most just use Spotify. Well, my episodes hit Spotify under SNTR Presents, not under SNTR Gaming. Old Soul's like, it's in my name. That's right. If you're tuning in for information about the Halo Infinite modes update, feel free to ask a question in chat. You can also take the poll at the top of the chat. The poll includes the 4 modes getting added tomorrow. They're also tweaking some of the challenges, so if you've got questions about that, let us know. We'd be happy. I put in Discord, it's an emote, so you can't see. No, I can't see that, no. All I see is you say, you can't see, and then it's just D:. Yeah, I can't see that. That's why I don't do that. I don't add emotes to those sort of extensions because then everybody just sees a bunch of nonsense in chat. You're on Spotify? Yeah, these episodes get uploaded under SNTR Presents. That's like our main hub, like, podcast thing. Yeah, there's Eugene showing you the mobile experience. That right there is why I've never done that. I've never done that for that reason. The good thing about YouTube is I like the fact that I can run live, close my phone, and still listen at work. You have to have premium to do that, though. Apparently, according to Valkyrie, they're coming up with something for, like, if you do YouTube Premium, you'll get, like, a sub to a channel or whatever, like a membership or whatever. That would be amazing. Yeah, mobile can't get it. That's why I said YouTube should just work with those guys and just incorporate everything so we don't feel that neat. Excuse me. I mean, I get it for more emotes, but, like, I don't know. I've learned a bit in chat where people are asking others, what is KEKW? Yeah. What's up, chat and SNTR? What are you guys' thoughts on the melee lunge It's crazy for how far you can lunge at someone. So Halo Infinite melee lunge, or I guess melee hit registration, is still kind of all over the place, right? It's still kind of all over the place. There's a lot of people that have complained about like Halo Infinite desync because and so maybe you think the lunge is really, really far, but like others are like, nah, dude, melee is really wonky right now. It's actually not that good. Maybe if they tweak it and then some of the desync and some of the hit registration fixes itself, right? Maybe they could then go back and say, okay, maybe it does lunge too far. You know what I mean? It's possible. It's possible. Actually, I can double dip on the cheat. Yeah, you could do that for real. You could double dip. You could have membership in both places. I guess I'm not old though. I still use poggers. We have our own Keck emote. We have our own Keck emote. Just become a member and you can use Lono Keck. I'm willing to bet if you did a poll, people would vote infection. Well, it's not about that. I understand why you might want me to do that, but like the poll at the top of the chat is about the modes getting added tomorrow, and I was curious out of that bunch which people were the most excited about, like which one matters most to them. Not like which mode do people want to see the most of, right? People were like, "Oh, you should have played Infection on Friday night." So on Friday night we did Halo Infinite custom games, and me and Hilly shoutcasted and we were like drinking and stuff. People like, you should have played Infected. Infected modes I always feel like they're the same thing. Like the zombies just win. Is it the same rules? Like you just have to stab people and then they get converted and then like it's always one poor guy at the end running and he gets killed anyway. Like I don't know. I never felt like those game modes are all that funny. I could be wrong. I don't know how Infected works in Halo, but you know, Halo Infected or you know any other Halo Infinite game modes, I'm like the ones we were doing were just for silly fun. I've always found Infected to just be so cheesy silly in every it's the same. Yeah, I don't want to play that. I think that's dumb. It always turns into the same thing. The hit reg is an issue in Halo Infinite and it spawns from no collision boxes. The lunge is normal for Halo games. Okay. Infection custom games. I just don't like playing Infection game modes. I don't think that they're that good. I don't think they're that good. It's always the same thing. It always devolves into the same thing. The zombies overwhelm everybody, and then there's one guy at the end, and then eventually he just gets stabbed. I don't know. Super speed zombies versus warthogs is fun. Maybe. The Unforgivable on Netflix is a movie you gotta watch. Is that the one with Benedict Cumberbatch? It's like a Western. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Infecting with vehicles is good. Only Rockets was good fun. Wonder if Only Swords would be just as funny. Possible. Have you ever played Warthog versus Zombies? I have not. Listen. Show up on a Friday night and help us come up with game modes. Seriously. You can become a member and get in our Discord, or you can just come and, as a viewer, like, help us out. Like, if you've got good ideas, then just be here on a Friday night, because I'm open. I'm definitely open to ideas. I don't know if you're having any lag with your visuals, but I am, just to let you know. Lag with visuals. Are you talking about my stream, or are you talking about Halo Infinite, Blue Rage? It's about how many zombies you can get before they get you, not human teams versus zombies. Oh. Friday was so much fun. Gotta add in some equipment next time. Imagine swords only with grapple. That'd be good. Yeah. I'll make you a list. Do it. Yes, lag, the quality. If you're having issue with quality on my stream on YouTube, that can't be on me. Quality's up and down. You're probably on auto. If you're on mobile, you need to go in advanced and switch it to the setting that you want to watch me in. I left binge watching The Office to come to your stream. Well, thank you for coming here. I appreciate that. Commando only was not fun until we got pushed into the fray. Yeah, Commando only was rough. Whose idea was that anyway? Who came up with Commando only? I don't take blame for that. That was something else. I'm talking about your stream particularly. I don't know what to tell you. I think because I stream at low latency, it causes some issues with people. And if you're on mobile, you got to pick a specific quality setting. Like, I run low latency so we can have good chat engagement, and sometimes I think if you're on Wi-Fi, it'll mess with you. I didn't get a chance to check out the Matrix demo yet, Eugene. I got relatives in town. I'm going steady on 1080-60, no hiccups. Yeah, I think it's because we run low latency. Sometimes it snags people who probably watch most streamers on normal latency. So, what is my opinion on the Commando Halo weapon? It's not bad in close quarters, but at distance, yeah, it's rough, which I guess that's supposed to be how it is. I mean, it's a fully automatic weapon, so. I miss Commando only. Where was I? Sorry, Christina, not that kind of Commando only. I blame Hilly for everything. That one was on Hilly. Oh, was that him? That was his idea. Yeah, that wasn't my fault. That was Hilly. If you're just tuning in for information about the Halo Infinite Modes update, be sure to subscribe so you can talk in chat or take the poll at the top of the chat. Which Halo Infinite game mode is most important to you that is coming tomorrow? They also updated the Halo Infinite challenges, which it should make the Halo Battle Pass significantly better. It is one of the main criticisms from people about the game at the current juncture. Can't wait for Forge, so someone recreates Blood Gulch. That'd be good. That'd be good. I'd rather pick up the plasma pistol. I like setting up insane stuff, not bad stuff. You know what I mean? That's why I thought Rockets Only was hilarious. We should have done Rockets Only on a bigger map. Like, Rockets Only in that teeny map made everybody kind of crazy. Hilly says, I accept responsibility. You can hold me accountable, but realize your cancel culture doesn't fly here in the UK. You bunch of douchebags. He's right. He's right. Hilly's like, hold me publicly accountable. But not like that. Not like that. Not actually hold me accountable. Creature's calling out the like count. He says 400 people, 190 likes. What gives? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you've never been here before, we'd love to meet you. So make sure and hit subscribe and introduce yourself in chat, especially if you're looking to play some Halo Infinite custom games with us on Friday night. We had a blast, and we hope to see you guys there. We're enjoying a conversation and a talk show today about the Halo Infinite Modes update that's coming tomorrow. We may test it out, depending on what other game news has broke. The problem was mostly on my side. I'm going to go soon, okay? So be safe, all right? Yeah, no problem, Blue Rage. Thanks for coming around. Hilly seems to be a little defensive. What's he trying to hide? Is Hilly even his real name? There's a rumor that that's not his real name. There's a rumor. We need to have a Wasp versus Banshee mode. I got to tell you, as much problems as Halo Infinite has, like, that Halo Infinite custom game stream did really, really well. Like, people were just looking for Halo Infinite, what'd we call it? Halo Infinite custom games. People were actually looking for a stream like that. We actually met people that night that were literally looking for that. I'm like, this is great. You don't even have to be a Halo fanboy. It's free. Like, just download it and treat it like an arcade game. Do you know what I mean? Like, download it and treat it like an arcade game. Just come hang out and play. You don't even have to be into Halo. It's super fun. Braxton says, I finished the Halo Infinite campaign and the side objectives and wish I didn't complete it so fast, but I feel like it intentionally short to update with expansions and later. Yeah, we were having a bit of a debate about this in the Discord about whether or not this game's going to go live service, and Barrier was like, no, they're just going to do DLC. They've already got all the DLC kind of built. That's the pattern they're going to go for. And it was one of those things where it was like, I think that's how they're going to start, sure. Like, that's how it's going to start, DLC. And then eventually what they'll do is they'll start pushing out, like, seasonal content, and that seasonal content will be hitting both PvE and PvP, and if you don't have the season, you won't be able to do it. You won't be able to play, right? Won't be able to play. That's what they're going to do. They're going to turn it into the seasonal format. It's going to go a live service. The fact is that the current build has custom games. It's a great thing. Imagine if that came later. Also, Hilly says if we remove weapon pickups and give no ammo, we can have grenade only modes and also warthog races. Oh, right. Wait until they add Forge. Custom games will explode exponentially. Well, and if we keep adding to the audience here that enjoys Halo Infinite and enjoys Halo Infinite custom games, then when they finally add Forge, I mean, we'll be in a great spot. Like, I kind of want to bring back split screen. You know what I mean? I want to bring back split screen. I want to bring back, like, hey, we've got an actual casting desk, and we're gonna sit, and I'm gonna make it look professional and make it look awesome. You know what I mean? We can bring back split screen, and then people would be like, holy moly, like, this is awesome. This is like some professional level stuff here. A map marker if you fly to it? What? The campaign's not too shabby, says Silent Warrior. On Heroic, it's pretty difficult at times, and I will try Legendary once co-op is available. Yeah, Halo Infinite campaign, no co-op is, that's a stinker for me. I was going to try and get it set up so, like, my wife and I could play together. Like, get a gaming rig in the living room and, like, put it to a TV, and then, like, I'd have my Xbox. I don't know. I'm curious to see this separate category of challenges with XP based on performance. Yeah, they said Halo Infinite challenges will be updated. He said there'll be a new challenge category that's based on accumulating player score. So the Halo Battle Pass, it's already kind of rough, and then this is supposed to help with progress. That's why anyone who voted for co-op over Forge needed to be in the game first, and Lono's recent poll is a mad person. Oh, right, when people voted for co-op, yeah. Yeah, there's no co-op right now. It's getting added later. They said that they aim to add it down the line, but it's currently not in the game. So if you want to play through the Halo Infinite campaign, like, with another person, you can't do it. It's not there. It's not there. If you're just tuning in, we got some new folks rolling in the door here. This is a live talk show. We've been doing 2 a day. We did one this morning about the Bungie article, and now we're talking about Halo Infinite modes update. And I want to know, of the modes that they're adding tomorrow, which one's the most important to you? Obviously, it's between Slayer and SWAT. Fiesta and FFA didn't get really any love in the poll. Let's take a look at the turnout. Already over 500 votes on that poll. That's amazing. Thank you guys so much. We need Forge so we can have 6 people in a Razorback with a spear gun chasing a pair of mongoose throwing infinite frag grenades. Right? Reason for no co-op? I can only speculate, and the best theory I can come up with is this. It's probably similar to the fact that you can't replay missions either. So if you're in the middle of the campaign and you want to replay a mission because you missed something, or you want to replay a mission and just up the difficulty, you can't do that. You gotta replay the entire campaign if you want to replay particular missions. And my assumption and theory is that what happened when they wanted to do this quasi-open world, non-open world campaign, they have to put you in the game world in a different way than they have done traditionally. So it's new technology. And given that it's new technology, it affects their ability to let you just replay a mission, and it affects their ability to let you play with somebody else. Does that make sense? Like, that's my theory. They've not said that, but I'm just telling you from where I sit, that would be the best theory I could come up with. Is like the Halo Infinite campaign gameplay is like a mixture of open world, non-open world, and the way they have to put you in that open world. It's a brand new engine, the Slip Space engine. However they put you in that game world, they didn't have time to say, okay, how do we put somebody else in the exact same game world? How do we sync them up and have their progress sync? Like, how do you let somebody just be like, hey, I want to play that mission again? Or now that I'm done with the campaign, I want to go back to mission number 7 and get that thing that I missed. Was the new technology the reason they cut 2/3 of the map? The only thing we have is that Schreier article where he said that they cut 2/3 of the map, and it's because they were in crisis mode. It was almost as if, no, this is too big. You got to trim this down. We got to trim this down. Do you want to know what they're going to do? I'll tell you what they're going to do. The maps that the pieces of the map that they trimmed, they're not gone. They're not gone. They're going to be parts of the DLC. They're going to be parts of seasonal content. That's what they're going to do. Those things were trimmed and saved for later because the scope of the project was too broad. So they narrowed the scope so they could deliver something. I can see you getting your hands on Forge maps from the community, breaking them down, discussing them, ranking them, actually playing them. Seems like it could be fit for a weekly episode. Maybe. Listen, there's a lot of potential with what we can do with games like Halo Infinite and New World and even the From Software game, even Elden Ring, Lost Ark. There's a lot we can do as a community if we just rally around stuff, you know what I mean? Destiny's not the only game that has an awesome community worthy, that wants to do fun stuff. The Infinite world feels huge. The super long sight lines are great. Looking through a gap in the ring and seeing stars is cool. Right. The other 2/3 are going to be DLCs for sure. Mo says, I believe it's the checkpoint thing for co-op. Right. Which came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Is it the Halo Infinite campaign checkpoint? Is that the issue that then caused the co-op issue? Probably, yes. It's a foundational problem that is touching other things. Can't replay missions, so how are you going to play with somebody else? I heard that the engine that they're using is from the early 2000s, which could have caused some problems. I thought the Slipspace engine was a newer engine that they built specifically for this game. That's what I thought. I've not heard what you're saying. Not taking your survey. I totally agree with what you're saying. I'm a few missions after the Spire, and I got to thinking that I've changed the map, and it progressed with me. So to go back to an old campaign mission, they would have to restructure the open world map. Yep. That's another thing, right? They can't do that. They can't be like, well, wait. Because you'd have to instance into a mission as if you've not done something, right? They'd have to re-instance you in as if you've not done something. Yep, it's almost like you haven't done this. Slipspace is an updated Blam engine. Akuda Papa is saying Slipspace is a completely new engine, and Wheezy saying Slipspace is an updated Blam engine. Well, both these statements can't be true. The whole story has been they were building the engine with the game. Yeah, because that guy that left the company, remember when the Halo Infinite trailer hit and everyone was like, oh my gosh, this is embarrassing? And then that guy that left the company was like, yeah, we weren't even done with the engine yet when that video hit. Right? That to me is like, I don't know. Wheezy's got a video from the Halopedia archive, a 343 social stream. It's not a complete rebuild. It's built on the foundation of Blam. So in essence, though, Wheeze, it's a new engine, right? Like, if they're building, do you see what I'm saying? How much did they start over? Would be the question. How much is new and how much is not? How much is inherited and how much is not? The plan is simple, says Hilly. Good modes go on a poll, then we drink beer and we play the mode. My first choice is Zubair gets a rocket launcher and everybody else is hunting him with plasma pistols. We could certainly do modes like that, Hilly. That would be very, very fun. That would be very, very fun. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, by the way. If you're a longtime sub or a new viewer, you've never been here before, or you've just recently subbed, thanks for tuning in. Our discussion about the Halo Infinite modes update. We do have a poll at the top of the chat. Which is the most important mode? Slayer running away with it. Halo Infinite Slayer, seemingly the most important mode, with Halo Infinite SWAT close behind it. It's a new engine, like how the C coding language is the foundation of C++. Zubair says, you son of a... I'm in. It's still got the old engine DNA, but you can call it a new engine. I mean, it's honestly superfluous to the discussion, is it not? That, like, they built something from the ground up to an extent, right? To an extent. And in so doing, they've run into problems and snags. Okay, not Hilly. Wheezy. You can call it new for sure, but it's not brand new or anything. Literally, it still uses Blam's debug tools. So here's a tweet from somebody that says, by the way, if you don't think this is still Blam after people have analyzed the flight files, don't worry. 343 included the Blam debug menu in their video to make sure you know for sure. Right, so somebody got a screenshot of them playing in like a testing environment. I've heard that there's evidence that if you walk diagonally on PC with a detached turret, you move faster than walking in one direction, which is a pretty unique thing to the old engine. That may not be unique to the engine, though, because there was a thing in the Quake 3 engine called strafe jumping, and you could use the trajectory of an angle and a jump, and it would make you go faster. Because you were basically like going forward and then like strafe jumping and pitching yourself forward, and you would like skip like a rock. You'd be like ding, 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 ding. You'd like pick up speed. So there was a physics element to the Quake 3 engine that strafe jumping was basically like setting an angled trajectory, and because you were basically like angling and pitching, you'd like flick your head to the left and like spit yourself forward. So that might not even be unique to the engine. That just might be like a ground level physics thing that's abusable in some game engines. Or it could be, as you might be indicating, a baked in piece of the DNA that they've inherited from the Blam engine. How many parts of the boat do you swap out before it's a different boat? Yeah, that's that famous philosophical question. Right. If you slide faster in Infinite, you jump first. Wheezy had these receipts loaded. Well, he probably just did a search for 343 and Blam on Twitter and found it. Or he liked the tweet. I don't know. You could learn the maps and just hop around everywhere. It was super fun. Yeah, really, really good Quake 3 Rocket Arena players were like experts at strafe jumping. The ship of Theseus. Yeah. The only thing I think they missed was sliding down a hill should be a longer slide. I'm excited for the Halo Infinite Slayer mode. Quoting, this will be a basic mode rather than the variants 343 was going to release after the holidays, and should have this been prepared already. That's part of what we said. That's part of what we said. We said that, like, man, so you had Slayer variants on the horizon, but you didn't have Slayer ready to go? Why? Why would you not have Slayer locked, cocked, and ready to rock? Why wouldn't you have that ready to go? Seems awfully strange, right? Seems very, very strange. You wouldn't have that ready to rock and roll. You know what I mean? I don't like doing the sky is falling thing, but I just think it's one of the reasons why I've consistently said it's concerning. It's a little concerning that you didn't have like the sense to be like, we better have one of the most basic, most popular modes like ready to rock and roll. Like people can fall victim to their own like innovation. You know, well, this is great because it's new. This is great because it's fresh. And it's like, well, but people aren't going to like it. So what difference does it make? Remember to switch to live chat, said Zubair. I've been on top chat like a dope. The easiest mode, the most brain-dead, effort-free mode. Right. Sino says, we still haven't heard a good reason why this season is being stretched to 6 months. I think they were super focused on the competitive community. Yeah, I don't know what to... I don't know. Maybe player retention by constantly announcing we have something new coming or an update or on the way. It feels like damage control to me. There's a couple of ways to look at this, Braxton. And let me give you one of the ways I've looked at like the Halo Infinite, controversy. I don't know. I've looked at it this way. And I have said that they knew there was the existing consumer base that mattered, and there was the new consumer base that mattered. So what they did was they launched a very rough scaffolding hybrid that they would allow whatever community rallied around this game to shape and form it, right? And so they're accepting feedback from both newcomers as well as long-standing community members and being like, okay, sorry, oh, yeah, okay, you want plain Slayer mode, here you go. Oh, sorry, you don't want threat detector, you want traditional radar. Okay, oh, you don't like the challenge-based progression system. Okay, they're letting the community shape the game so that in a month, everybody's going to turn around and be like, man, they've really done everything we wanted them to. My biggest nitpick, says Vapor, is the fact that I want to play a map that I'm used to because I learned each weapon placement, but then I get something like streaks and not live fire. I don't know if, yeah, I would agree with you that that's a bit of a nitpick. That's just, you know, playing a multiplayer game 101. Devo Man says, hey Lono, I admit I got tricked by everything that happened a year and a half ago. Glad I saw some of your videos recently. Made a profile this morning and happy to have my gaming radio show back. Well, I'm happy to have you back, and I'm happy that you're like the 100th person to say that in the past couple of weeks. It feels good. It does. You might not think it's a big deal to take the time to type that, but it means a lot. It really does. You and every time I hear it, it feels like a skill point I get to put in my strength category, you know? They probably didn't foresee players throwing oddball matches because they wanted to play Slayer, plus the challenge system driving player behavior. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. It's extremely hard to know what they were thinking. My best theory that I can come up with that doesn't charge them with just like rampant ineptitude is they thought, this is our best play. We got to go with like a hybrid mode, right? Got to go with a hybrid mode. If we don't go with a hybrid scaffolding, then we're not going to get enough good, you know, feedback from the players, if that makes sense. They made this season 6 months because you pushed Witch Queen back to February. I didn't push Witch Queen back. What do you mean, you? What do you mean, you people? When is the Slayer playlist coming? Tomorrow. So if you're tuning in, the Halo Infinite Modes update is landing tomorrow. They are adding Slayer, SWAT, which they're going to call it Tactical Slayer, or Slayer Tactical. They're adding Fiesta and FFA. These are all coming tomorrow. That's why the poll at the top of the chat has those modes for you to vote on. Which one's the most important to you? They're all coming back tomorrow, along with updates to the Halo Infinite Challenge system, because the Halo Battle Pass is another major point of criticism from the community. That was a typo. Forge is at least 9 months out, and co-op is 6 months out. That isn't good to be kind about it. Sure. Who likes Oddball? That would be a funny poll. Who actually likes Oddball? Right? And I would just put Odd Job and just trick all of you and be like, oh, none of you likes Odd Job from GoldenEye. Got him, tricked you. If you picked Odd Job and GoldenEye, it says a lot about you as a person. That's all I have to say about that. We won't be taking any more questions on GoldenEye this day. Okay, next. I've noticed a large spike in newer players. Every match I've played has some grays, which is good, but it's kind of hard when I need to win a match for a challenge and I have new players on my team. Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure, dude. Especially when skill-based matchmaking and team balancing is in the game, which I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's in the game where they're like, oh yeah, you've been playing well. Here's a bunch of potatoes wearing blindfolds. It's their first day, you know, help them out. And you're like, I don't want to help them out. I don't want to help them out. I would like to not do that. Is there something else? Is there another homework project assignment I can be assigned, please? Can I please? Every time Lono mentions Battle Pass criticism, he grins and his Sony show colors slightly show. That's right. Halo Battle Pass criticisms. Sorry. I do think that since this game is so different from what they were planning to make, they're in new waters. That's right. They are in new waters. I think Oddball would be fun if the holder can run around and got damage resistance to help make it more fast-paced and more team-oriented. You either get potatoes or pro sweaty teammates. Yeah, it's like it's one or the other. If you get the pro sweaty teammates, you're like, can you guys leave some table scraps for me? Like, you round the corner and like everyone's dead. And you're like, come on. And you go to the other side of the map. Like, come on. Slow down a little bit. Did Lono touch on the Spartacus leak or the announcement last week, Sony's answer to Game Pass? I didn't cover that, no. No, we knew something like that was coming for a long time, though. If anybody finds a version of Lono who isn't a Sony shill that hates the Dutch, let me know. Just having the ability to throw the ball and it being only one round would help. Right, like it again, it just calls into question. It's like, is my theory right? Like, are they putting these things out here in their rough state because they had to? They were like, oh, this is it. This is what we got. Sorry. Right? Or is it on purpose? Are they like, no, release it rough? Yeah, rough around the edges is fine. We're going to have a really weird hybrid amalgamation, like really odd combination of players. So, you know, Halo Infinite gameplay can be super rough. It can. And then every week, we'll have really great Halo Infinite updates and news and everything else. And people will clamor to be like, what are you doing this week? And it's like, well, we're doing this and adding this because you guys asked for it. And everyone's like, yay! Like, I don't know. It does seem like they didn't have this one in plan, which is, again, that makes my theory hard to prove. If they didn't have this idea in their mind, that like, yeah, we're going to need to add Slayer pretty quickly. They didn't know that? They didn't know they were going to have to do that? They keep outsmarting themselves. Should we keep it simple? No, let's prove we are geniuses. I don't know. Some people like it rough. Christina, behave yourself. Yeah. I just think it's a combination. I don't think it's one or the other, to be quite honest. I think there are elements of this they were like, no, we got to launch it. But we got to launch it. We got to launch the game. It's got to go out. You know? We'll fix it. We'll have to fix it in post. We'll fix it in post, you know? We'll have to fix it in post. We can't do this. It's got to ship. And I think some of it they said, like, well, if we ship it like this, then we'll get good feedback from the players. And when we get good feedback from the players, they'll help craft the game that they want. And then the people that stick around will be ravenously supportive. I'm telling you, we don't need to dive back down into the cavern that we were in this morning, but it's a play out of the Bungie playbook. I think there's a reason that people are super loyal to that game. It's because they feel they've helped shape it over the years with their feedback. So much was wrong, so much was bad. They implement all this feedback over the course of 5, 6, 7 years. So much of that feedback is from the players. Why do you think the players scream as loud as they do every time they don't like something? They've been conditioned to believe that that's what they're supposed to do, because it's what brings about a result and a change. If you condition people to think that when they're unhappy about something, they merely have to like scream and cry about it, and then they'll be heard, and then potentially the problem will be rectified, well, that creates loyalty. That creates an investment feeling. They're invested at that point. They're not going to walk away from that game. I don't know. I am wholesome. Yeah. Sven says, you sure are wholesome. Yeah, she's the wholesome. Speaking of rough, they said they added player collision, yet I've been phasing through people still. Wait, when did they say they added player collision? I didn't see that. That's been something that people have attributed the Halo Infinite like melee stuff. People have attributed that to the fact that like there is no collision. That's why it's not working very well. So if they added collision, I've not seen that. I've not seen that as an announcement or a patch note or like an update. I feel like that would have been reported on in some of the stuff that I saw today. Like last month, and there's video showing it too. Are you sure that so there's a video? Where though? Or were they saying that were there's like a stream and they're going to be like adding it or whatever? I feel the same happened in a sense with the Sonic movie. No way that they thought the design was good. Released a trailer, massive backlash, and then they change him. It got so much free press. I don't know about that. I don't know if that theory holds weight with the Sonic movie. That could have been really bad. Can't use something I've said on a public forum as facts, you guys. Right, Christina. So far, I have not seen a collision, says Akuta Papa. Last time I played, I was still phasing. It was a video with the title saying they finally added this in. Sounds like somebody was either wrong or clickbaity. I don't know. No, the update's tomorrow. And the update tomorrow is a Halo Infinite modes update, and they're updating the Halo Infinite challenges as related to the Halo Battle Pass being pretty terrible. So that's all coming tomorrow. The flight had collision. What's going on here? Why am I getting so many emails? Oh, every single one of my YouTube channels is being encouraged to sign up for paperless. Like, what the frick? Yeah, it could have been something in one of the Halo flights, maybe. I don't know. Everything I've ever said in chat is true. Always has been, always will be. That is great. That is so bogus. That is great. I hope the HUD bug is getting fixed. When that doesn't load, it's so annoying. How about when, Hilly, you and I got loaded in and we literally couldn't do anything? I couldn't pause it. I couldn't quit. I couldn't do anything. I was like, I just have a gun. Talk about a minimum viable product. 343's like, what's the problem? What's the problem? It's a first-person shooter, isn't it? Yeah. Can you see? Yeah. Do you have a gun? Yeah. You're welcome. That's all you need. What do you need a menu and a HUD for? Just shut up. Just shut up and go shoot people, okay? Jiminy Christmas. These entitled whiner baby gamers these days. You got a gun, you can see and move around and shoot. You don't need anything else. Back in my day, the sniper without a crosshair was a thing to behold. Right. It was like trying to shoot in the dark. I was like shooting past people. I was like, I don't have any HUD. Even when I quit, it happened again. I had a hard reset. Jiminy Christmas. It's a feature. It's not a bug. Yeah. Listen, we want you to feel like it's a challenge. Lono got a gun. Literally, just the gun. That's right. They're like, what's the problem here, dude? Why are you crying? Why are you crying like a baby? Why are you crying like a baby, you know? Get to work. I mean, if you played Payday 2, it isn't handicapped. One thing I liked was playing the campaign the other night and unlocking multiplayer cosmetics. Yeah, they said to make sure anytime you boot up and continue playing the Halo Infinite campaign, they said make sure you're online. Like if you do quick resume, you might not be online, and when you get those cosmetics, they won't be there, or they won't unlock or something. Lono the Project League. Does it have a gun? Can you shoot it? Mission accomplished. Yeah. All right, next. They're like, listen, we got to get through this conference meeting. We got to get through this early, okay? We got to get through this early, all right? So here's what I need from you, okay? Here's what I need from you. Okay. First order of business. Do they have guns in the game? Dave, wake up. Dave, look, they have guns. Okay. Can they see? Can they shoot? All right, fine. Get out of here. Next order of business. Let's talk about this battle pass. Talk about the battle pass. The Halo Infinite battle pass. So we're selling armor coatings, right? Yeah. And it's per armor core, right? Yeah. Okay. So how many times can we sell the color blue? Well, sir, we can do that as many armor cores as we have. All right, now track with me, Johnson. This might be a stroke of brilliance here. What if we just keep adding armor cores? Well, sir, then we could sell the color blue every time. Like, we would literally be able to sell the color blue every time we add an armor core. Johnson, I need you to get your team on this. Johnson goes back to the team. Johnson goes back to the team. He's like, guys, you're not going to believe this. He wants us to make more armor cores. we can sell more color blue. We got it. That's the goal here. What's the problem? It's called Halo Infinite, isn't it? We just trademarked Halo the Endless. Halo, the endless armor cores. We can just keep selling the colors, man. Your shillness is showing easy now. What? I've said before that if I like a game, I want them to make bundles of cash. So clearly, I am pro. Just add as many armor cores as you can. I know I've already bought the color blue 6 times, but I'll buy it a 7th time for whatever the. For whatever the next armor core is. I'm committed. Hey, boss, have you ever thought about this? I know I'm just here dropping off the mail. I work down in the mailroom. My name is Steven, and I just wanted to say, I really liked what you just said to that man. Have you ever thought about adding more shades of blue? Oh my gosh, you'd rip his glasses off. Steven, you're out of the mailroom today. You're the head of the art department now. Head of the art department? Oh my. Okay. And he gets in there and that's all he's got. He goes up to the whiteboard. He's like, different? Somebody's like, you misspelled different. Ah, frick it. Erases it. Shades? Oh man. And then all of a sudden in 6 months they're like, whose idea was this? Why are we doing this to our micro store? And they're like, well, you took a guy from the mailroom and you put him in charge of your art department and your battle pass, so it's a shambles. It is in a shambles. And then the guy says, I blew myself. I don't know why we're pretending that Brad didn't have something to do with this. Johnson, maybe we should separate the shoulders as well. Sir, this might be so crazy, but it just might work. What if we take the gloves of the Spartan off and we sell... Hang with me here. Hang with me. Nobody get angry. Nobody get angry. We sell nail polish. Boo! Boo! Get out of here! Nail polish! No, hang on. We charge for the color of each individual nail. And they're like, yes! Great idea! Coming soon to Halo Infinite. Spartan nail polish. Is that the guy that put the silver all over his skin? Oh no. Holy moly. Why would you do that to yourself? Remember the UI limitations BS from Sketch? Well, that's what happens when you have 1,000 versions of effing blue. Let me mismatch my shoulders. An American man whose entire skin gradually turned blue after he took a homemade silver chloride colloid and used a silver salve on his face in an attempt to treat problems with his sinuses, dermatitis, acid reflux, and other issues. Yeah, did he die? Because you mess with your epidermis. I mean, that's a quick way. That's a quick way out of this world, man. It's like, isn't that like the biggest organ in your body? It's like, no, he turned into the Silver Surfer. I'm gonna feel so bad for like half of a minute tops if he did actually die. I'll feel bad for a short minute, very short minute, for laughing at the Silver Surfer joke. We've come up with the cosmetics for the Warthog. That's genius. It gets better. We'll sell the hubcaps individually, and we'll charge extra for the fourth one. Correct. Your skin is your largest organ. Yeah, you jack your skin up like that, you could. There's a quick way to die because it's got to be tied to your all sorts of parts of your immune system and your central nervous system. Like, you can't be messing around with that. I bet he used this emoji a lot. Does anyone else find it unfair that the Mark V core only gets coatings from the Battle Pass and only the shop? It would have been nice if the campaign coatings worked on all cores. Well, that's what we're making fun of. Like, at a foundational level, why are you doing that to begin with? Like, if you come up with a really dope-looking core, and it's like red, black, and like with chrome trim, I'm like, that's sick. And it works on only one thing? What on earth? That doesn't help me. That's annoying. That's annoying. Oh, no. Here's a quote on the article. Carson's widow said some people had called her husband Papa Smurf because his skin color and his white mane of hair and his matching full beard. He is dead, but I don't think it's because of that. Yeah, he may have just died of old age because he looks like he's kind of old in the picture. Listen, 343, don't let Bungie have a better cosmetic system than you. Please. Please don't. Like, nobody should be able to look at the shader system in Destiny and be like, yeah, this is better. This is better than what you have. Because their system has been pretty bad for a while. It's only just now better. Making different cores makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. We're not Iron Man. Now, track with me here. Why might 343 be saying, like, hey, Halo Infinite needs to have different armor cores? Why? Why would they separate them if they're just cosmetics? They're money hungry. Bleh! No. Hang with me here. Why would they do that? Maybe, just maybe, long term, they plan to flesh these cores out, and they slowly become stat-driving armor for a PvE world that is always updating and changing and expanding. Maybe, just maybe, you'll build into a certain way of playing with different cores. Maybe this is the beginning of that system. They have to lay that foundation so that in year 2 they can be like, hey, the armor core system has slowly gotten better over time, and now we want to go to like our 2.0 system with the armor cores where they'll have stats and perks and build benefits for the PvE content. Maybe even the PvP content. It's possible that this is being built for more than just like we want to sell the color blue a bunch. Separate cores make sense in the larger world and lore. Wouldn't it also make sense that those separate cores then came with different perks and benefits? No, you can't use the same coating on different armor cores. They're different. How are they different? Well, you can't use the same coating on different ones. Here we go again with the next Destiny killer. I don't think they would announce nail polish. They would just put it in and let it be found naturally and let the wildfire spread. Nope, you're too charitable. They're just greedy. Okay. All right, Robert. Okay, fine. They're just greedy. I'm just, I'm biased because I think they're wanting to go to a live service environment. And if they want to go to a live service environment where you're going out and playing in the PvE expanding world as your Spartan and not Master Chief, then it makes sense that you would have like different cores, different perks and benefits to wearing a core. I don't know. Yes, it would. Chief's core is very different from an Aviator's core. Think about it. They're already laying the groundwork in the campaign with the Spartan points. You spend what they're called. They're literally called Spartan points, are they not? Don't you think that's interesting? Literally in the campaign, you collect Spartan points and spend them in like in a skill tree. You're already finding armor cores for upgrades in the campaign. They could be used for different abilities in the DLC drops. Exactly where my mind just went, Barrier. It's exactly where my mind just went. They're called Spartan Cores, right? They're basically points. Yeah, Spartan Cores. Why would they be called Spartan Cores? I mean, I you know what I'm saying? You're going to be a Spartan, and you're looking for Spartan Cores to spend in your skill tree to make yourself cooler and stronger. And each armor core has its own skill tree, its own abilities and things you can invest in. You really like the grappling hook? That's cool. This core over here doesn't have a grappling hook. It's got a jetpack. Oh, okay. This one over here doesn't have a jetpack, but it doesn't have the grappling hook. What it has, it has Icarus Boots. Oh, Icarus Boots, what do those do? They make you really, really fast, and they give you a double jump. Oh. Giving away free capital here, Halo. Like, do you see? Like, they could easily lean into this, and in 2 years, all of a sudden, the armor core system opens up, and you're going out and playing PvE, and you're finding armor core, Spartan cores, and you're leveling your armor cores, and you have multiple different cores because you have multiple different builds, depending on how you feel like playing for that day or supporting your team. Telling you. Roadmap's coming in January. Maybe we'll see a DLC type of announcement. Except all that is irrelevant to cosmetics in the PvP? Not necessarily. No, it's not. You like your grappling hook? What if there was a mode, Eugene? What if there was a mode in PvP called Spartan Throwdown? And you go in as your Spartan with your skills and your abilities and all your armor core investments and all your customization you spent money on, and you play with all your stuff instead of like having to find the grappling hook, or instead of having to find, as I said, like instead of a grappling hook, maybe this armor core comes with a jetpack, this armor core comes with Icarus Boots, and the Icarus Boots give you like a double jump, and you're faster when you sprint for a short duration of time that has to recharge. They had a whole new mode called, or a whole new like hopper called Spartan Throwdown, and you go in as a fully decked out Spartan that you get to bring your stuff with you that you've invested in. And they start to bleed the game. The colors start to bleed. It's like, wait a minute, this is more of a ongoing live service game where I invest in my character, and my character goes out on missions and gets stuff, and the stuff that I find or the build that I come up with I can take back into the PvP realm. I am literally just spitballing right off the cuff. They may never do anything like this, but boy, oh boy, that would make a whole lot of sense as to why from the very beginning they had these different cores, and why when you're playing through the campaign as Master Chief, you're finding Spartan cores, and those Spartan cores are used in basically what is a skill tree. Just another theory. Just another theory. Balance doesn't really need to be focused too hard, because the way they set it up now in PvP doesn't have to change at all. Well, and if you had your own game mode called Spartan Throwdown, if they tweaked different things in the skill tree, like let's say there was something in the skill tree that gave you like a second grappling hook charge, and they felt like it was too strong and they tweaked it. It would only matter in Spartan. It would only matter in Spartan Throwdown and maybe some PvE, which therein lies the challenge. But if I remember right, the way this plays out is 343 takes notes, implements everything you say, and then the dev bans you from the game with no explanation. Too soon? Oh man. Only a Brit would get away with that. Only a Brit. That was good. That was really good. The simple answer is usually the right one. I don't think we can apply Occam's razor here. I don't. I think there's more at play. I think if you have a 10-year plan, you don't only think about, like, gotta make money at the beginning, gotta have good micros, make sure you make those cores. No. I think the multiple cores is tied to something else. I just think it is. They're numbered. Like, they're... I don't know. Halo fans need to push back against loadouts. We like standard starts. Yeah, this would be its own play. Are you talking about my idea, Zubair, or are you talking about something else? The cores would work in the BR mode. You could call down your core like a loadout in Call of Duty. Yeah, that's true as well, since we're fairly certain Battle Royale is coming. Yep. Yeah. Like... You pick your core, you pick your loadout, like in Call of Duty. You know? Having to wait to see is quite a time to wait. Oh, I know. This is just what I like to do. I like to look at a game and their decision making and try to flesh out all the possible theories as to what in the world's going on, right? Arena PvP not speaking to BR or PvE. Yeah, but even in Arena PvP, Zubair, I like the idea of a Spartan Throwdown where you get to pick your you get to come in with your loadout. It's really frustrating when you unlock a new armor piece in the pass and then you spend 5 minutes trying to figure out where you can use it. Right? Like you unlock something for one core and you're not currently wearing it. And you're like, wait, where is it? Where's the thing I unlocked? Oh, it's on another core. Oh, all right. BR is coming. Yeah. It's pretty much all but guaranteed, right? We got a lot of people that jumped into the Discord today. Thank you for doing that. I had to change my name, but I'm still the same Dark Paladins. Got the thing, headed tonight. I remember you. If you keep it in that playlist and don't let it leak into the rest, I'll look the other way. It's like we're negotiating. Zubair's like, okay, these are my terms. And keep it in the playlist. Okay? But if it leaks over into the rest, I'm going to have a problem. If it stays over there and doesn't leak over, I'll look the other way. Okay? These are my terms. Just set it up. You like slide the piece of paper across the table. These are my terms. All right? Be gone with you. I can go back if you already talked about it. What's this about BR coming? It's all but been confirmed that a BR is coming. There are like content creators that kind of heard that it's coming privately. That kind of got leaked. You know. Go ask Ninja. Go ask Tyler. There's also the audio in the game, like Battle Royale, like the announcer says it. You wouldn't use that word to describe an arena game. You wouldn't do that. Remind paying members to sync with YouTube and connections. Yeah, when you're in Discord, go to your profile connections and sync with YouTube. Halo doesn't need a BR. BR needs Halo? Maybe. Brad leaking on Reddit. Yeah, Brad's out here leaking on Reddit. Stop it, Zubair. We all know you're colorblind and wouldn't be able to tell if we snuck in a yellow. Oh, that's rude. Honestly, with all you've done, people you've played with, I'm surprised you still remember those times. They were fun. Hate that my game messed up and I had to stop playing. Man, I remember all sorts of people from back then. Come on. I do remember that being talked about. Yeah, it's like the BR thing is like a known thing at this point. Like, there's no reason to protect anybody. Like, it's been leaked and certain people found out about it, and then some guy on Reddit was talking about it, and then they found the audio about it. Like, we don't need to act like we don't know it's coming. Everybody needs to settle down. It's like when the announcer's in the game saying it, like, why do we have to act like it's not like, oh, it's hush hush? You didn't have your announcer go, Team Slayer, Kill-tacular, Battle Royale. Like, come on. You didn't have him go into the audio booth and say all that. Just to say, let's see how this sounds. We'll put it in the game. That separation could work too. Back in the day when Halo was a large esport, it had a full range from hardcore to party. Have your own character stats is a big element this gaming era. Sure, and again, it's the idea of, like, you want the person to feel like they've sunk something into the game other than just time. Right? Other than just time. Because if you feel like you've sunk part of yourself into the game, you've come up with this build, you picked this armor core, you went and picked all these things and earned all these things, you have put a bit of yourself into the game. That is entirely different than just like, well, I play a lot and I can go check my stats. A lot of people don't realize, like, this is why progression on a battle pass is important. This is why they're long-term going to blur that line between you just playing the game and maybe doing like a campaign mission as Master Chief and you playing the game as your Spartan. Like, the way you get people invested in the game, like, if you think about the most long-standing games where people play and they play and they play, it's a game with that RPG element, whether it's the Elder Scrolls Online or World of Warcraft or EverQuest or Grand Theft Auto. Like, you have a character, you've built them, you've changed them, you changed what they look like, you know what I mean? Sounds like an Anchorman moment. Someone just put it in the teleprompter and the announcer read it. I doubt it. Can't wait for tomorrow unless I heard wrong. No, tomorrow is when they're updating the challenges and the Halo Infinite modes update that we've been talking about today. The Slayer, SWAT, Fiesta, and FFA are all getting added tomorrow. We're assuming in their own playlist because right now you can play Slayer, but you can't pick it. You just end up in it randomly. It's definitely coming. Battle Royale is definitely coming. Why else would they build the really good bots? Yeah. That's true. That's true. That's key with some of these bigger some of these bigger games now. Like, how you got to be able to put bots in. What's FFA? Free for all. Free for all. You got to have good bots if you're going to do BR or really, really big game modes, because Battlefield needs them and Fortnite needs them. Yeah, any of these games seem to need them. You know, definitely is true. Really good bots. The bots suck. I don't know, Wheezy. Some games I played against the bots and I thought these bots are horrible. And then the other games I played and I was like, yo, these bots are like god-nading me and like shooting me as soon as I walk out. Yeah, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. Hey, a bunch of people have been using my Amazon affiliate link. Thanks for doing that, especially if you're doing Christmas shopping. Man, you can use the Amazon link below in the description or use the Amazon command. You don't get like a discount or anything, but if you're going to shop on Amazon, you can always use my link beforehand. Never played a game where bots felt good. Well, okay, hang on though. We should clarify something here, Wheezy. When we say bots being good, I don't think we mean like bots being god mode, like 360 no scopes. The bots need to work. They need to be good. They need to run around and do stuff. Think about Fortnite. The bots in Fortnite are not good with respect to skill, but they work. They run around, they shoot, they put up a couple walls. And what do? They pad the numbers of the server, they ensure quick matchmaking, and they give, you know, Johnny No Kills a couple of easy kills. Every game I felt like, man, I wish we didn't have these bots. Right, like, we should qualify what we mean. Like, I don't think Hilly and I were saying, like, oh, they need the bots to be good, as in, like, the bots need to be godlike, you know, aim bots, because we all know they could take their target acquisition, crank it up, and you'd never shoot them, Wheezy. You'd come out and be like, tit, 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 and you'd be dead. Like, they could make it to where you'd never be able to go toe-to-toe with them, because they'd immediately, their target acquisition and aim would be instantaneous. You wouldn't have the reflexes to compete. We know that they could do that. That's as simple as turning a knob. They just go and turn up the target acquisition and the accuracy rating. They're making them obscene. We mean that they need the bots to be good, like as in they need to be able to work and drop in the game and throw grenades and take some shots. Like, I don't think the bots were ever crazy amazing, but there were times they were throwing like god nades, like right at my feet on the corner, or I came out and like they would land some shots. Now, obviously, long term, you're gonna adjust and know how they play and how they position, and they're not gonna be a problem for you. They also weren't too bad at team shotting. Like, if you entered a lane and they both saw you, I mean, oh my gosh. Bots in Perfect Dark 64 were some of the best I've seen. Dude, do you remember some of the challenges in Perfect Dark 64 against the bots? It was ridiculous. There was one where you were like in the bottom of like it was basically like an inverse pyramid. We were like in the bottom of this area and the room just slanted up around you. It was insane. I still remember that challenge. I've literally yet to die to a bot in Infinite. I mean, when I played during the one flight test, so when you played the flight test and it was only against bots, they didn't kill you a single time? I don't know. Plenty of people were playing against the bots, and periodically the bots were having like a periodic moment of genius. They'd like throw the grenade, pre-nade you, and run around the corner and like land shots, and you were dead. I remember playing in the flight and going against bots and being like, these guys are terrible. And then suddenly on like the 4th or 5th game, a couple of the bots were like popping off. Now, it could have been a random live player, and I just thought and just assumed it was a bot, but I don't know. There were plenty of times where they did what they needed to do. They put shots on body and threw nades, which is all you need to do on some of those maps to get easy kills. You enter a lane and there's 2 guys looking at it. You're not going to be long for this world. You didn't play the flight? Yeah, I mean, the flight was a little bit different because you would literally play against an entire team of bots, and never dying in that environment, that would be obscene. Like, there's no way. There was plenty of unlucky times where they would all nade the corner, or you would come around the corner and there'd be 2 bots staring at you, and they would kill you. I've played plenty of players that are worse than bots. Well, that's the other thing to consider. Like, that's why it's okay to put bots in to a certain extent, right? You can put the filler bots in because there are players in the game that are arguably worse and, you know, less functional than a bot. And so, yeah. I don't know about the multiplayer bots, but those driving the banished tanks are freaking pixel perfect killers. I'm hiding behind a rock and they kill me with splash damage. Oh yeah, for sure. Well, especially if you start turning up the difficulty. The reason I didn't like bots in Fortnite is because Fortnite made the game, they made the game betray you. It was like, oh, hey, you got a bunch of kills. You did pretty well. Your next game, we're going to put you against better players. And it's like, well, of course I got some good amount of kills. I got 7 kills and 5 of them were bots. So of course I did okay. I did it. It wasn't even a challenge. That's not fair. Like you're judging me. You're judging me on something that has nothing to do with my actual skill. You know, oh, well, you bagged almost 10 kills, so, you know, we're going to put you in a match with a bunch of people in similar kill ratios. It's like, well, if they're killing live players and getting 10 kills, and I'm killing bots and getting 10 kills, we're not equals. We are not equals. All you played is the multiplayer beta. Yeah, if 1 or 2 bots are in a game, I wouldn't expect them to kill you, Wheeze. The only reason I died to bots in the flight is because their whole team was bots. Yeah, you just beat the kids in the playground, time for the NBA. Right, you're like, well, you dunked on a couple of kids on a Little Tykes hoop, I guess you're ready to play against Michael Jordan. Like, what the frick? I was cruising through the Halo Infinite campaign on normal difficulty, thinking maybe I should have set it to hard, and then I had to deal with the tank and I was dying a lot. Yeah, I was playing on normal and thinking the same thing, and then I got into a couple of areas where there were lots of enemies, and I kind of was getting that solo aggro funnel, and I was like, no, this is good. This is fun. It's not hard, but I can still play mindless and pay the price instead of feeling like I have to sweat. You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was a good balance. I thought it was a perfectly good balance. Be honest, says Sean. If I only ever played bots in my games, I'd be all right with that. Hey, man, you know, everybody's got their own, everybody's got their own thing. Everybody's got their own play, their own way of playing. Mm-hmm. Shit. Hang on. Okay. Sorry, perfectly vaulted shots right over the rock I'm hiding behind. My only hope was just to keep grappling to get some space. Haley says, I think where they were very intentional by having bots in the game from the get-go. When they launch BR and bots start showing up, it will not look like a population game health issue. Right. No, yeah, I agree with that. I still play League of Legends custom games against bots for practice semi-regularly. I remember my my buddy and I loving playing StarCraft money maps. It was really fun. It was really, really fun. Sometimes it's nice to just vibe to the playlist and Lono's random noises. Yeah, yeah. I try not to go quiet while I'm playing. What's up? Yeah. Oh, you didn't get a thank you for my lunch? It was really good. Taco was okay. Taco? Like, are the days really blending that together that I ate a taco and didn't realize it? Like, it was like, I don't think it was a taco. Yeah, the talk was fine. We even switched gears to the second stream and we haven't had a single issue. You need bots in certain games for training purposes like MOBAs? Yeah, I don't have anything against bots. Yeah. Again, to restate, my issue with bots in Fortnite was that they're so easy to kill, and me killing a bunch of them was then used for skill-based matchmaking. I'm like, no. If I have 7 or 8 kills, and 5 of those kills are bots, you should be tracking that as a 3-kill game, which for me in Fortnite was typical. 2 to maybe 3 kills. In a squad-based game, I'd get to the end, I'd have 2 or 3 kills and just a bunch of assists, right? But I'm ending every game in Fortnite when I was like playing with my nephews and my brother. I'm ending like every game with 7 to 10 kills. I'm like, I'm not a 7 to 10 kill player. You've padded my numbers with these stupid bots. And now you're like, hey man, 7 to 10 kills. We started landing in servers and we were out of our depth. We couldn't have fun anymore. I'm like, if you're going to put bots in the game for padding, fine. They shouldn't count as a normal kill. You can give me credit for the kill, fine. Sure, but internally it shouldn't be tracked as a normal kill. Yeah, Revive. We broke it down this morning if you want to go watch this morning's stream. Like, yeah. I broke down how I had very similar experiences to Mylan. I wasn't going to retweet him and say anything because then everybody will be like, you're just trying to make it about you. So I was just like, I just mentioned it this morning on my own stream. I guess you're supposed to start attacking, realize it's a bot, and then disengage. Well, I started to feel like that. I was like, I guess I'm not supposed to kill the bots because now it's been used as like evidence that I'm an amazing player. It's like, I'm not an amazing player. I'm a moderate, like barely above average player, and you put trash in front of me. So sure, yeah, I beat the snot out of them, right? You can put a controller in a baby's hand, and I could beat him at Street Fighter 2. It doesn't mean I need to enter a Street Fighter tournament. If bot AI ever gets as good as real people, we'll be days away from the robot apocalypse. Yeah, because they'll be like, why do I have to play this Fortnite game and lose every time? Where's my money? Where's my time in the sun? That's right. That's right. All right, give me 1 second. I've been trying to drink a lot more water during the day, and it obviously means I have to take a couple breaks throughout the stream. So we took a break this morning. I'm going to take one more break. I'll be right back. Don't forget that in 30 minutes, I have a premiere over on Presents, and it's why I don't agree with Devin Nash's take on the removal of the dislikes on YouTube. Okay, I'll be right back. Sorry, Chad. I was having to be quiet because the my niece is still here, and they're trying to get her to go down for a nap, and I was like having to go slow, tiptoe through the house a little bit. I just don't think like when you don't have a babes in the house for a while, you don't think like that. You just go kind of storming through the house. If I ever do a live stream, I'm gonna need you in chat as my hype guy. This is Orphan Twin. Lono has the coffee covered. You're gonna need some really good scotch. I feel like they need to separate Total Control also, says ADJC. I have 2 weekly challenges that I can't complete because in Big Team Battle it rarely shows up. Hope these challenge changes help. Yeah, the language they used about the challenge changes, ADJC, it could address what you're talking about. It'll include adjustments to challenges, including removing some particularly frustrating mode-specific ones, reducing some requirements for others, and making the weekly Ultimate Challenge less intensive. And then they're going to be adding new challenges specific to the new playlist, as well as challenges with accumulating player score. So you could 100%, see that Yang just released a video on the Bungie stuff. Well, we'll see how he ranks it. My tone really changed over the weekend. So if you guys want my thoughts, it was this morning's stream, and I feel like probably the first 10 minutes are great, and the first hour is also really good. But if you just want my succinct thoughts, like the first 5 minutes of the broadcast is like my short flyover of why I think they're spinning the whole thing. So we're not talking about it anymore. You want to go watch it, you can. I'll be interested to see what guys like Yang and others, how they view it and frame it. So we are nearing another milestone on this channel, by the way. Very, very close to 9K subs. Really love to see that going into the new year. Overpaid. I'm a whale on everything. Paid $720 for it. What are you talking about? What did you pay that much money for? Back my back. One is just doing the match, and the second is doing 3 matches. I don't know how they expected people to play through gosh knows how many. Yeah, it's just thoughtless. Like the Halo Infinite challenges, and the Halo Battle Pass, it just feels really thoughtless. It's like, come on. It's like the right hand wasn't talking to the left. Like somebody came up with the challenge, is like, this will be good. And then someone's like, no, it won't. How are they going to get that done? It's a random game mode. I think the most predictable way is to sign up for GameStop Pro for $15 a year and then buy one of the bundles they sell. It's all the bundles, but it's the SMRP on the bundle stuff. Oh, trying to get a new Xbox. Got it. Just realized I didn't like the video. Got you. Yeah, we had a great second stream. Obviously, it wasn't as spicy as the first, but we only need a few more likes to hit 300 likes. We had another really solid second stream. Like doing 2 talk shows has been really enjoyable. It really, really has. I can't imagine being a whale in any game. Yeah, even I remember periodically jumping into well, not jumping into. I remember paying money with respect to the battle pass and then skins and stuff in Fortnite. So, but I never felt like I was a whale. You know what I mean? Oh, I missed the morning talk show. You did? I was just reading the comments on Young's video. My curiosity, I can't, I don't know. People are like, you screwed up when even IGN can figure it out. Oh, brother. My son got a little toy for Christmas. It's a hippopotamus, and it sings that song. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas, and I get that song stuck in my head every time I hear, like, he's pushing the button, like, walking through the house. Well, the comments are generally where I would want to see them. Yeah. I'll have to watch it and see if... I just wonder if anybody covering it's going to see the same thing I saw. It wasn't bad, not nearly as bad as I thought it would be. I actually thought it was very good. I actually thought it was pretty good, Eugene. I did. Yeah, I thought it was good. They also weren't specific in doing certain challenges, like blue, gray, or dark blue. Like, doing sidearm kills is specific to quick play, which I wouldn't have known if I didn't try. Huh. Young has a vid up. I know, I was just going and reading through the comments. I was saying I'm curious if he's going to see the same thing that I saw. The more I thought about it and the more I looked at it, I changed my position. I think it's a lot more spin and more sinister than I initially thought. You'll have to go watch my video from this morning on it if you want my full thoughts. Blue says, I think the patches Halo PvP to get 120 frames because on launch day it was locked at 60 on the new Xbox. Where have you seen any indication they're raising the frame rate on the Xbox version of Halo Infinite? My little nephew loved Baby Shark. I'm really glad he grew out of it. He's all about Spider-Man now. Yeah, it's always a good thing. It's always a good thing to encourage parents. Like, if your kid gets into something that's like that they really, really don't like, then just wait a couple of months. Xbox is now selling a Red Ring of Death poster for $24.99. A disc plate of the Red Ring of Death. Not good for my mental health. I ain't doing it anymore. I'm happy and I like to be happy. We get where I'm saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Weeze. I get what you're saying. It was weird. There was a weird sense of there was a weird zen state that I hit over the weekends. Like when I went and saw some of the nasty folks, talking about me because I have to go on my alt to see it. It started to bother me, and then I was like, why am I doing this? They can't say anything new, so why would I give them power over my mental state? And I haven't checked since. I've interacted with a few people here and there, like on Twitter, and I just didn't feel like it touched me. I just felt like I was able to glide above it. It's just a smog cloud that I can fly over, Before the screen would flicker, and since the launch of the story, it doesn't. Honestly feel like it changed because it's way smoother. Well, but that doesn't mean they've unlocked frames, though. Speaking of frame rate, my PC has some trouble handling Infinite, but since I played on console for most of my life, 30 FPS isn't that bad. I feel like it's just a solid 60 on the Xbox Series X. They've not said anything about updating the frame rate. I mean, I feel like they would announce that. That would be like a quality of life talking point. Like a quality of life talking point would be like, hey, we've updated Halo Infinite's frame rate to not be 60 or whatever. Nobody plays on PC and my Xbox does better than PC. Infinite's terribly optimized. I definitely can feel it in certain areas. I'm like, man, that you think this thing would run butter smooth on the Series X. There are definitely some areas where I'm like, what the what? Like, just kind of jittery, Just kind of jittery. on my Series X, like not maintaining 60 frames. Some of the cutscenes, not some of the cutscenes, but like the cinematics where like the guy busts through the door and like hits the metal thing and it slides across the floor. I feel like that's somewhere on the list, somewhere low on the list below Co-op and Forge. Driving around for work and being cut off by a car with antlers just feels like a gut punch. 0 milliseconds, 132 FPS. Nobody's saying you can't get high FPS, Paul. There were videos of guys with really good PCs dropping into the 40s and 50s in some of the areas. Yong being one of those guys. I have a feeling Yong's PC is really strong. It's just a hunch. Netflix is working on a live-action Mega Man. Why? Did you get an Alienware laptop for portable gaming? I'm not an expert, but I feel like with Alienware, you're paying a lot for the name. You could probably buy a comparable gaming laptop and save some money. I'm not an expert in that field, though. When I played the campaign on low settings, the TAC-MAC upgrades menu would bring me down to 6 frames. How many particles and effects are there? What's funny is that the reload animations are lower FPS if you pay attention to them. Really? Super weird. Canceled Cowboy Bebop for this. Go with the Asus ROG series for a nice and upgradable laptop. I second that Alienware is not worth the money. They used to be before Dell bought them. TAC map, no way you're getting 3 FPS. He's right, you know? What's SkillUp saying? Given Epic's vast resources and the pace at which they can grow and evolve Fortnite, it's quite stunning to see how useless, feature incomplete, and unappealing the Epic Game Store is after all these years. I really do support breaking monopolies. It would be cool if there was another platform to compete with Steam, but Epic's Game Store is so far from being an ideal competitor that you have to wonder if these people have any strategy at all other than free stuff and exclusives. Wasn't there some articles written on that, Wheezy, on how like Epic's Game Store is just it's a complete and absolute money pit for a minimum of like 5 to 7 years? I worry that because it's just such a money pit that they're not going to do much with it. Like they just can't get any headway. There was also an article on how like Steam makes it impossible for anybody to compete with their it's like a guaranteed pricing clause or something that they force on people. My monitor shows it holds 120 in PvP, so I don't know if that means anything. It only drops when there's a crap ton going on in one area. But that might be PvP. I don't know if they stripped down a lot of the settings in PvP. I don't know. I did not see any evidence for Halo Infinite running at 120 on my Xbox Series X. It literally only loses money. They don't expect to make money until 2026 internally. Yeah, there it is. There's the figure. Yeah, I said like 5 to 7 years. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the question. If they don't expect to make money until then, is that maybe why they're doing that? Would there be any ROI right now on doing like R&D and adding features when they don't anticipate turning any kind of a profit until 2026? I'm not justifying it. I don't know. To be an incumbent, you got to be way better than the incumbent. If people are satisfied, it's hard to get them to change. Yeah, big time. Great, now I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Thanks, Lono. I'm getting a 1060 because I'm not that big on cash at the moment. Well, if you've got a weak system, then it's hard to take it as a criticism against the game. I mean, I don't know. I could boot up any game on a weak system and have issues. The games that launch on freaking Steam. It's unbelievable. What an industry. I was like, oh, I wonder if there's anything big launching today or tomorrow on Steam. Very first game. Although this game that's launching this week, Eterna Noctis, looks really, really cool. Metroidvania platform Souls-like. It's supposed to be difficult. Eterna Noctis launches this week, December the 15th. Similar to Hollow Knight and Jedi Fallen Order. 2D Metroidvania Souls-like. Holy cow, the Xbox documentary is fantastic. A must-watch for any gamer. I constantly have songs stuck in my head. They are high-fidelity recordings. It's a problem. Everything on my PC is great, just like my graphics card is like one version away from being incompatible with the minimum requirements for Infinite. Yeah, but wouldn't that be an issue? If your graphics card is one version away from being incompatible, wouldn't that be why you might have issues with frames? Sweeney was claiming games would be cheaper on Epic's Game Store years ago for consumers, and nothing has happened since. Just free games weekly and a crap ton and a crap store to use. But Wheezy, look into why they can't beat Steam on price. There's a reason for that. There were even game companies that spoke out about that. It's because of Steam. Sweeney may have been foolhardy in making that promise. That may have been their goal. That may have been their hope. And it didn't happen. They weren't able to do it because they're competing with a company that doesn't allow for competition. They literally get all these companies to sign an agreement, basically being like, you can't put your game anywhere else for less money. Like, as I understood it, that's basically why this is happening. That, like, Steam corners the entire market and no one else can compete. I'm not saying that justifies Sweeney overstating where things would be on Epic Game Store, but like it's not like Epic's Game Store is just like, oh, yuck, we could charge less money, but we're not. Like, they can't. Is GOG part of the equation? As I understood it in the article I read about it, Steam basically locks in the entire gaming market. Anybody that puts their game on Steam basically says they're not allowed to put it cheaper anywhere else, like ever. So if Steam wanted to do, if Epic wanted to do some big game sale, they can't do it. Because if they go to mark down any of those games, and those games also exist on Steam, they're like, yeah, no, we can't. You can't mark the game down. It's not allowed. Now, giving the game away for free is probably how they get around it. That's probably why Epic's Game Store is just constantly giving stuff away for free, because it's their way around that clause. Like, well, we're not charging less. We're doing like a special giveaway. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if that's how they get around it or not. I'm speculating. It's only for Steam keys. I might be ignorant on this. It was my understanding that that's why Epic couldn't beat them on price. Because basically Steam's like, no. You can't. You're not allowed. Look when Sony does sales. Any game on Steam goes on sale too. You can sell your game for cheaper on any platform. You just can't put it on Steam for a certain price and then sell the same Steam key somewhere else for cheaper. I thought, no. That's not. That's a Steam key. Like if they sell the Steam key on GOG, like GOG and those other key sites or whatever. I thought there was something else. There was a I swear we reported on this. I swear we did back when we were doing variety and 3 subjects a day, 3 topics a day. I swear we covered this. Like, Steam was making it impossible for anybody to compete with them. I may have misread it. I may have misread it or misunderstood it, but I swore that was the gist of the argument of the article was, here's why you don't see any of these other games or any of these other companies even making remote inroads on price. Like, yeah, like G2A and GOG and all that. Like on Steam, you sell your game for $60, but then you sell the Steam key somewhere else for $45. Yeah, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I swear that the article I read indicated that if it's on Steam, it can't be somewhere else for cheaper. Like, it can't be anywhere else for cheaper. Date published newest. Date added newest, and then we'll just have to drag this one up. Even if a game was 30% cheaper on Epic, I would still use Steam at this point. Well, yeah, a lot of people aren't going to switch even to save the money. Sure. No doubt. I'd have to find the article. Valve doesn't want you to buy Steam games outside of Steam. That wasn't the article. Weez. It was trying to make sense of why Steam has a stranglehold on the market. We are denying keys for normal size batch. It is likely your Steam sales don't reflect the need for as many keys as you're distributing, and you're probably asking for more keys because you're offering cheaper option off Steam, and yet we are beating the cost. So at some point, we start deciding that the value you're bringing to Steam isn't worth the cost to us. No, that's not it. That's not the phrasing that I read. Steam competitive price clause. There's a lawsuit, isn't it? Developers who want to sell PC games on Steam's platforms must agree to what is known as a most favored nations provision that effectively requires them to price their games on Steam as low as they're sold on other platforms. Ding, 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 ding. That's what I'm talking about. There's a class action lawsuit about this. I told you. I knew we covered it. It's the MFN provision, Most Favored Nations provision. It effectively requires them to price their games on Steam as low as they're sold on other platforms. So as soon as they do a sale on Sony or Epic, the price drops on Steam. So they can't, there's no way for Epic to be like, hey, we're going to do a big bash and a big sale. All these games are on sale right now. And everyone's like, yeah, cool. They just went on sale on Steam too. That's why there's a class action lawsuit. Yeah, I saw it. 16 songs from the VGAs. Yeah, what a joke. At least it's not blocked anymore. Yeah. We're talking about two different things, Weez. I'm talking about a class action lawsuit because they basically say, yeah, if you list your games here and it goes on sale anywhere else, it has to go on sale here too. And so people are saying, well, wait a minute, that you're making it impossible for any other PC marketplace to even have anything competitive at all, as long as the game is ever on Steam. I'm not talking about Steam codes and stuff. They're literally suing Valve for this. Is this an antitrust lawsuit? I think it's class action, probably it's between Steam. Let me see. Class action claims agreement between Steam, major video game developers led to higher prices for PC games. That's the title of the article. Valve faces lawsuit alleging abusive power grab. This is in January of this year. Valve has recently been in some hot water in the European Commission. They slapped the games company with a $1 million fine over geo-blocking, and now some games are suing Valve in California over anti-competitive clauses in the developers' agreements. Valve and multiple other developers have been named defendants, alleging that the companies entered a competition-stifling contract with a, quote, most favored nations clause. So they're basically saying that the contracts are they're anti-competitive, and that's what they're claiming in the class action lawsuit. Like you're basically creating an anti-competitive environment, literally with your contracts. So it looks like they're going after them in California. They got slapped with the fine for geo-blocking in the EU, the EU Commission. That's antitrust? Okay. Yeah. So when you're like, oh, Epic's Game Store said they were going to have games cheaper and they didn't, okay, Sweeney might have spoke out of turn, but it's not his fault. It's not like he's like, hey, get everybody to download the Epic's Game Store. We'll tell them that games will be cheaper. And then, like, let's just not do it. Like, no, they can't. He literally can't. He could go on there and make a game $1, and then it would have to be $1 in Steam. Like, they don't have a choice. So when they make the games free, I don't know if they're at the exact same time free on Steam. I don't know how that works. I don't know if the multi-favored nations clause also encapsulates if a game gets dropped to free. I don't know if the clause encapsulates that, given that it's about price and free. I don't know. That feels like a split hair, but again, free might be considered it's not a cost, so it doesn't fall under the clause. I don't know. Wait, Weezy, you disappeared into thin air? Where'd you go? We're having a conversation. You post all your articles? What about mine? What about what I'm saying? Oh, I gotta trim my beard. Oh my gosh. Like when I laugh, my beard hair like covers my teeth, and I look like I have like I look haggard. I look like my teeth got busted or something. I swear it's not what my teeth look like. It's my mustache hair hanging out in front of my mouth. I promise you. See? It's my mustache. I promise you, it's my mustache. You ever feel the need to bite it? No, I try to brush it down so I don't bite it. I try to I tuck my lower lip in. Contact Yang now? Yeah, I don't know about that, Domo. Like, I don't know about, like, reaching out to journalists or YouTubers. Like, nobody wants to touch it. Nobody wants to touch it because they're like... That's how the industry works. They turn you into a pariah, and then nobody wants to be touched by the dirty because they're like, do you know what I mean? What do you want me to say? Then we were talking about different things, and I made a good point. What do you mean? You're acting like I didn't know what I was talking about. And then when I'm like, no, here it is. There's a class action lawsuit. There's actually a clause in the Steam contract that doesn't allow for competition. You just go quiet. You just go quiet. My goatee has gone full Wilford Brimley. There's no abuse? I don't know, Eugene. You keep banging on that drum, but how does it get misconstrued? Because there's a line in the article that says HR department protected abusers. And I typically don't see people referred to as abusers with respect to, in the workplace, psychological abuse. In my experience, in this field, when someone says a person in a workplace is an abuser, it's not because of psychological abuse. It's the other kind. And even still, even if it's psychological abuse, abuse is abuse. Is it not? There was abuse at the company, and the HR company protected the abusers. Like, that's in the article. What do you mean? How can you say there was no abuse? The article says there was, and says that the people were protected. Come on now. My life doesn't revolve around you. I was going to grab something. Okay. I was just giving you a hard time. It was like, you talked to me like I was stupid. When you didn't talk to me like I was stupid, you're like, no, Lono, that's this Steam key thing. I'm like, no, I'm talking about something else. Okay, Weez, I forgive you. I forgive you. You didn't ask for forgiveness, but I accept your apology and I forgive you. Oh, golly. All right, here. Listen. We need these premieres on Presents to perform well, okay? I know it's not like spicy, hang on a minute. I know it's not like spicy, Bungie, Dregs, and Destiny, but this is really important that we get support on our videos when we put them over on Presents. And so these things that hit at 3 o'clock, we really need them to get support. Once you guys get over there, I'll push it live. It says 3:30, but that's not true. I'll push it live once everybody gets over there. Epic still has a crap store. Oh, I wasn't disagreeing with you about it having a crap store. I was simply saying the reason they can't compete on price is not Sweeney's fault or Epic's fault. It's Steam. It's their non-competitive. It's their anti-competitive contracts. That's why Epic can't make good on their promise. Doesn't have anything to do with them. All right, go over and please give this premiere love. It is me disagreeing with Devin Nash on YouTube removing the dislike count, okay? It's a really good video. I do my absolute best to disagree with him in a charitable way. I think Devin Nash does a great job dispelling some of the notions about removing the dislikes, and that's why you should go watch the video, because I think he does a great job. There's over 200 people here, okay? If all 200 of you would click on the link in chat, it's massively helpful to me. I say this every day, and like 50 people go over. Like, if all of you go over, all you have to do is click the link in chat, okay? It's really helpful to that channel. We're trying to turn the rudder away from just the monsoon and the archive of Destiny content on that channel. So please, if you've lurked today, enjoyed the show, you enjoy the radio, you enjoy supporting me, give me 5 minutes of your time. Hit the link and go head over and watch my take on Devin Nash and the dislikes being removed. Can't wait to disagree with you on this. Yeah, you can disagree with me on this. I'm actually curious if you guys think Devin Nash is right. So go hang out over there. I'll see you guys over there in the chat. Thanks for a stellar day. I'll see you over there. And if I don't see you over there, I still love you, and I'll see you tomorrow.